Are you guys here to learn exactly how you guys can use the Pekka Smash attack at Town Hall 11? Well, this guide has got you covered. Now, we're going to be taking a look at different types or different ways of doing your Pekka Smash, whether this be using Jump or using Earthquake. Yes, that you heard me right, you can use Earthquake. Now, this attack strategy, you do not need to start with a Queen Walk. It's really up to you and your personal play style if you guys want to use a Queen Walk or not, but it's not mandatory. All you have to do is make a funnel and make sure that your king does not go in with the rest of your attack. He may or may not, but as long as he doesn't, then you should have the healers on the Pekkas and the bowlers. Now, when are you going to choose to use a Pekka Smash? Well, specifically, you're trying to look for easy jump-ins into the base. So you're trying to look for easy areas that you can jump into. So for instance, this is a good area. You can easily get into the multi-inferno compartment and then also jump into the eagle, and that gets you a good chunk of the base down. Now the second part of this attack as your Pekkas and bowlers go through is using the back end stone slammer. And this is really important because your Pekkas and bowlers will thin out, which means you will need the back end stone slammer. I've been asked a lot if you can do this with the wall wrecker. No, you cannot. The wall wrecker actually limits where you can enter, and not only that, but the wall wrecker is just not a viable option, especially when the main portion of your attack is going to thin out way later and you won't have anything to clear up the rest of the base. That's why the back end stone slammer is extremely important with this attack. So with that being said, that gives you guys a good idea. Now, how you guys going to deal with the enemy CC? Not a problem, because your Pekkas, your bowlers, you'll have your Grand Warden going in through, you'll have the heroes going in minus the king, kind of, unless the king walks through, then that's fine. But as long as the king, or if the king's on there, it's perfectly fine. But you will have a lot of things going through, and you have a poison. So take advantage of that poison, 100%. But in terms of this, a good area, you want to set the funnel, you want to get a good entry point, and once you've done so, you can actually then start your back end stone slammer. Don't be afraid to start it too early. You kind of want to go in with your Pekkas and bowlers on the side that you're going to follow them, but then it's when they start to either fade out or, it's moving in the direction going away from all the Pekkas and bowlers and stuff like that. So that's sort of the idea when you guys are using the Pekka Bobat with jumps. It's obviously going to be a little bit different when you guys are using quad quake. But obviously what you really want to try and do is make sure that setting that funnel is extremely important, because without a funnel, you will not be able to funnel your Pekkas or your bowlers in, especially bowlers. You want to try and get your bowlers into the base pronto. So there's always going to be different things to really look out for in a base design that will make it either strong or weak to this attack. One of the next things that you guys need to consider is especially that if the king goes in by accident, then that's completely fine, because the king may not be up for as long as you may think. So having him kind of go in there a little bit to tank is always a good sign. The Grand Warden's ability should specifically be used in order to protect the bowlers and Pekkas. Basically everything going in minus the stone slammer, since you aren't using it. But you want to protect everything as they move through. This means that at least the first volley of shots from the Eagle Artillery. So if we notice here from this example with the back end stone slammer, it's just going to be working its way around the base. Notice that the Pekkas and bowlers are kind of moving down this way, and this thing is moving in this direction. Also take note that the bowlers and Pekkas are starting to thin out, which means that you will need this stone slammer if you're even going to have a chance to get through the back end of the base and have enough time to. So that is sort of the concept of this attack. Making sure to get as much value as possible is huge. The back end stone slammer is something I've said a lot. It's probably one of the strongest ways of finishing off an attack. You saw it a lot with the Falcon, and it does definitely take a lot of good inspiration from that attack in order to really make something that's very, very strong, and using the Pekkas, obviously, of course. But definitely one hell of a strategy to use right now in the current meta. So let's go ahead and take a look at another example, this time with Quad Quake. So you may already tell from this base design that it is definitely a little bit different. However, you notice that in the spell composition, you've got a Quad Quake there. Now, when is the best time to use a Quad Quake with this attack? Well, I would 100% say that as long as you can get easy jump value at the beginning of your attack, especially like for instance here, if we take a look at this this compartment right here, you know, that's a pretty huge compartment. It's going to make it fairly easy for us to actually get into the base, from here. And that's exactly what you're kind of looking for with an attack strategy like this. You want to try and find a nice open compartment to jump into at first, and then you see from this area here is that it is definitely very compact, making it very easy for us to just use one Quad Quake right about here and opening up that entire area to us. We then all we have to do is get rid of a good chunk of more of it, but as everything moves through this way, we have the Stone Slammer moving in across, going in this way. So as everything starts to thin out over on the other side, we have the Stone Slammer moving through strong. Even if that actually also fades out, you know, you still have the Queen up. It's always going to be either a luck-based thing, whether your attack either dies out way too early or if you're able to have enough to get through the rest of the base. That's sort of the concept with this attack. So obviously, setting the funnel is one of your main priorities. You want to try and make sure to get that funnel set and make sure that that king does not wander into the base, so that then you will easily have the Pekkas, the bowlers, and the Queen and Grand Warden moving into the base, so that then you can take up a lot of good amount of value. So making sure that the Pekkas and the bowlers stay healed up as they move through the base is your main thing. And you can see that the Quad Quake there got a lot of good value there, opening up so much of the base to the heroes and also to the bowlers and Pekkas. Grand Warden's ability specifically used to protect everything in his aura, which is hugely important. And you also notice that there is a damage CC there. It is going to severely weaken the attack there, especially since there's not too many Pekkas. Most of them got taken out, and the bowlers ain't doing too well either. So 100%, you know, everything's sort of thinned out there. And you still got the Stone Slammer going in on the back end. You do have the loons from that still available, as well as the haste. However, considering it this way, obviously that side is definitely going to be very difficult to get through with just a haste and a poison. Which does also mean that technically with this attack is, well, everything thinned out. There's nothing more that can really come from this attack other than the Queen stepping up, being able to take out the rest of those defenses, and then also being able to clear that multi-inferno as well. So there's a lot of few nooks and crannies with this attack, since, you know, this is a great example of this attack maybe not going in the correct way that the attacker wanted. And that is sort of the idea with this. You don't want the same thing to happen every time. You don't want to, you know, have a 3-star every time. So sometimes it's going to happen like this. And that is what is going to be specific with this attack. So obviously, there's a lot of different things with this Quad Quake. But obviously, Quad Quake is another really nice option. So let's go ahead and take a look at our final example with this attack strategy. So if we take a look at this base design here, there are a few things that we really need to take a look at. So why was the double jump chosen here? Well, if we take a look at a good entry point, so if we set the funnel here and also here, getting rid of this air defense is almost huge. that's actually the reason why 4 hogs were used in this. Sometimes you may or may not want to use hogs, but it is actually a good idea, especially if, you have healers in your army composition, and obviously with any Pekka Smash, you will need healers. Same thing with Pekka Bobat, you will need healers with this attack, or else it really just doesn't offer the same value. So obviously the healers are a great asset with this attack, and keeping them alive is extremely important. So getting rid of the air defense is huge. So you really want to try and make sure that maybe possibly getting rid of it is a good idea. Now the other thing is, you want to take a look at the double jump value. Can you jump into more than just one compartment with the first jump, and then maybe even another 2 into the next one? So again, that's really going to be up to you. You can kind of see with my crudely drawn circles that, seeing where you possibly could get into the jump. But not only that, but having everything moving across this way, that's what happens in this example, and then having the Stone Slammer move this way across the base. So obviously there's a lot of different things to talk about. But obviously with this attack is the main functionality of having the Pekkas and Bowlers smash through a good chunk of the base, and then have the back end Stone Slammer just completely tear through defenses on the back end of the base, along with anything that is touching those defenses, whether that be storages, collectors, barracks, or even builder huts. So obviously, since it does splash damage, obviously it's going to do something. You can notice from here is that giants were used in order to actually take out those 2 structures, and then also having the king on the other side to set the funnel, and the hogs to take out the air defense. All of that is great value, and using the Pekkas next in terms of just setting the funnel is hugely important, because in order to really do well with an attack like this, you want to try and make sure to set that funnel correctly. And then once you figured that out, you can actually start sending in the rest of your Pekkas, the Bowlers, and also the Grand Warden as they start to move through, along with the healers. Remember that the Grand Warden's ability should be used in order to protect everything as they work their way into the base, so that then the Grand Warden has enough time to keep everything alive as those first few volleys come into play, and also with dealing with the enemy CC. So those are all really important. If we notice from this example here, is that you obviously can tell that the Pekkas and Bowlers are moving down their way this way, and the Stone Slammer's job is just to work its way down across like this. So that's sort of the concept and idea of this attack, so that then you guys get a proper way of actually doing this one. Obviously with the Pekka Smash, you want to try and get as much value from the Pekkas and Bowlers, along with the Grand Warden and Queen, as much as possible, along with the double jump. So there's obviously a lot of different things to talk about, but with this attack, those are going to be your specific things. So obviously, this is a very, very strong strategy, and I highly recommend that you guys really try it out. It is 100% a very strong strategy, and I really can't say that, it's a terrible attack. It is an awesome attack to really try out. So feel free, guys, to try this strategy out, and that is going to do, guys, for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. Also, let me know in the comments below if you guys want to go ahead and see another Pekka Smash video or another video at Town Hall 11. I will 100% bring it to you guys. Also, feel free to join Sniper's Victory if you guys do want to join the Only the Brave family. Then I'll be leaving a link down in the description to all the clans that I cover, and that will really help you guys maybe even find your future clan, which you guys will start doing League with. Also, feel free to join my community Discord, and also follow me on Twitter at CorruptYT. And that guys is going to do it. Feel free to, share with your clanmates so that then they can become better attackers at Town Hall 11. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.